If you're working as a health, fitness, or a wellness professional, you've probably already come across clients that are really having a hard time because no matter what they eat, they just feel miserable. They've gotten to the point where they feel like, should I eat it all because I don't want to feel that bad again? So in this video, I'm going to help you understand what's likely going on with these clients and steps you can help them take to turn the situation around. Let's jump in.
TC Hale is not a doctor and does not claim to be a doctor or licensed in any type of medical field. Don't be an idiot and use anything heard on the show as medical advice. This information should be used for educational purposes only, and you should contact your doctor for any medical advice. Now get off me.
So when you see these clients, they're going to tell you, oh, I've tried everything. I eat this way. No matter what it is, I still have the same problem. And when clients are having these troubles, you really want to help them turn it around because the option is, I'm just not going to eat anything. And not eating anything and starving themselves has the ability to magnify some of these issues, but also create totally new issues. So we really want to help these clients improve these issues, and it's really about helping them understand what's going on. Now, the most common trouble that you're going to see with clients that are having misery after eating just about anything is we're going to see diarrhea issues where I got to know where the bathroom is. If I leave the house, I got to know where I can access a bathroom right away because they're having this crazy diarrhea. Maybe it's like explosive lifting them off the toilet kind of diarrhea, but it's not a good time. We also see a lot of people who will experience vomiting where they just throw up after they eat no matter what they're eating and they can't really keep anything down. We see a lot of nausea and bloating. These are very common, and sometimes the people are like, I feel like I'm 6 months pregnant, but I'm a guy. I'm pretty sure I'm not pregnant. And then we also see acid reflux that can be so painful that the person is kind of like, do I really feel like experiencing that right now? Maybe I just won't eat today and then I won't feel that pain. And we also see clients that maybe they'll have that gallbladder type pain, that upper right quadrant type pain where the gallbladder is giving them some trouble and that can create pain. And there's a lot of other issues that can create discomfort for people. But for most clients, they're going to be dealing with these issues here. These are going to be the discomforts that they're experiencing that we really need to help them correct. And we're going to go over the underlying causes that can create these issues. But the problem for a lot of these clients is that they've tried steps that were actually appropriate for them. But because they have more than one underlying cause creating some of these issues for them, they never really find the answer. And for a lot of these clients, when they take the steps to correct these problems, they'll feel a whole lot worse because they don't understand why these steps are magnifying the symptoms that they're taking. Sometimes that initial step can really create some trouble for the client. And they don't know that they need to work through that, so they're like, oh, I tried that didn't work. I tried that didn't work. And they'll go years or decades dealing with this misery because they don't understand the right steps and the way to do those steps so that they can reach some success. So when we want to help a client turn these things around, we need to understand the main two sides of digestion. So when we eat food, the stomach should make hydrochloric acid or HCl. And that helps us really acidify that food so that we can break it down and that we can get the nutrients out of that food. So that's very important. And it's very common today to see clients that are not making enough hydrochloric acid for a wide variety of reasons. We see patients and clients that are taking PPIs and antacids and all those types of things. That makes sense that they would not have enough stomach acid. They're taking steps to turn that off. But there's a lot of people who are not doing that who are still not making enough stomach acid to truly acidify that food. And then once the food is acidified and it leaves the stomach and comes down here into this duodenum, which is like the first 10 inches of the small intestine, that's when this gallbladder should squirt alkaline bile down to help neutralize those acids and also help us emulsify our dietary fats so that we can get all those fat-soluble vitamins and then we can digest our fats correctly. So both of these steps are very important, and when this acidic product leaving the stomach meets this alkaline bile, it creates like this sizzle from these opposite pHs colliding, and that helps us really bust the food apart and get all the nutrients out of that food. So there's other processes of the digestive process. There's pancreatic enzymes, and there's bicarb that comes out that helps neutralize acids a little bit too. And there's other things that happen in the small intestine and the large intestine. But for most of these symptoms that your clients are going to be dealing with, it's going to be malfunctions in one of these two major players that's actually creating the trouble or allowing other trouble to show up. So let's dig into these causes a little bit. When we're looking at a lot of these symptoms, low stomach acid is going to be that problem, or the lack of bile flow. And it's very common for someone's bile to become too thick and sticky to flow correctly, and then it's not able to flow down there. And when these acids leaving the stomach can't get neutralized, well, then the acids continue to burn through there, and then they're going to burn the intestinal lining. So the body's like, oh, we don't want that to happen. Let's bring all the water that we can to cool this down, and then we'll rush it out, and then it comes shooting out the back door into the toilet. So this lack of bile flow is a very common cause for this diarrhea issue. But also, when these fats that a person consumes are not getting emulsified by bile correctly, then those fats are not being broken down, and they become rancid and toxic and can make a person feel very nauseous and even create some of these vomiting issues. And also, when we're looking at this lack of stomach acid, that stomach acid is not just there to help the client break the food down and acidify that food correctly. It keeps all the bad guys out. So that stomach acid is like the knight in disgusting armor that's supposed to kill all these bacteria and varmints that come in on the food that they're eating. So when there's not enough stomach acid there, then the front door is open, and this bacteria comes in and sets up camp in the stomach or in the small intestine where it should not be. Our good bacteria should be in the large intestine. We shouldn't have a lot in this small intestine. That's when we see that small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, like all the cool kids have these days. So when this bacteria is coming in, not only does it put out this alkaline waste that can alkalize this stomach even more and restrict your client's ability to break down their food correctly, but then all this bacteria is putting out all this waste and toxins and gases that can expand that stomach or the intestinal tract, depending on where that bacteria is, and that can really create a lot of that bloating and discomfort that happens. And when we're looking at these reflux issues, reflux is not caused by having too much stomach acid like advertisers want us to believe. For most cases, reflux is caused by not having enough stomach acid. That acidic product in the stomach needs to be acidified enough to trigger what's called the lower esophageal sphincter at the bottom of the esophagus. There's a valve that opens so food can come in, but then as the food is acidifying, it's the acidity that triggers that valve to close so that food doesn't reflux back up. So a lot of people are getting this reflux because they only have a small amount of acid in the stomach, and then that small amount is coming back up because the LES valve is not being triggered to close, and they get burned. So there's a variety of issues that can come from both of these things being wrong. But also remember, with a lot of these clients, they're going to be dealing with a combination of these problems. The bacteria that can be in the stomach if there's not enough stomach acid, all those gases they put out can create more pressure that pushes food and acid back up and magnifies a lot of reflux problems for people. So for some people, it's just that they don't have enough acid to trigger the valve to close, but for some people, it's this overgrowth that's pushing things back up even more, and that overgrowth can even be in the small intestine, pushing those gases back up, and that can create reflux for them as well. And there can also be some circadian rhythm imbalances that can cause trouble for a lot of those stool issues like the diarrhea or the constipation, where maybe the body is sending too much water to either the kidneys or the bowels and causing some trouble for that stool. But for most clients who are really just miserable after they eat, no matter what they eat, it's going to be these things or a combination of these things that are creating the trouble. And then when the client goes to take steps like, oh, I heard that you can acidify your stomach with like a little apple cider vinegar or maybe hydrochloric acid capsules, and they take these steps and put a small amount of acid in there, and then this acid is mixing with all the alkaline waste from this bacterial overgrowth in there, and it creates this fizzy mess in the stomach that makes even more bloating and more pressure and more reflux, and they feel worse. And like, oh, well, that doesn't work for me. That clearly was not the answer for me because that made me much worse. But the reality was the client really needed to take steps to wipe out any type of bacterial overgrowth, and then we need to acidify the stomach enough to trigger this valve to close so that more reflux isn't coming back up. If a person puts a small amount of acid in, but it's not enough to trigger this valve to close, well, they just magnified any type of reflux symptom that they're going to have. They have more reflux. It's going to make them feel a whole lot worse. So that's why a lot of clients are going to come to you like, oh, I already tried everything. I don't know what you're going to do. I tried it all. But they just don't understand that you need to take steps to make this more where you qualify to take the right steps to really turn things around. So if you're asking what are the steps that I take with my clients, it's really about understanding these systems and how they work and why they get broken and the steps you can take to help them turn that around. So if you want to dig into that a little bit more, chapters 3 and 4 of my book, Health Pro Results, really walk you through helping clients figure out which aspects of digestion are not working correctly and steps you can help them take to turn that around. And the book is available on Amazon, but I'll put a link in the description below this video so you can get the whole thing totally for free, and it'll just walk you through that process and understanding the right steps to take with your clients. And if you're a consumer that just happened upon this video, then we'll also put a link in the description below for my book, Kick Your Fat in the Nuts, and chapters 3 and 4 of that book walk you through that same process. And that's just more geared toward consumers, where the Health Pro Results book is really written for health professionals. But if you can go through those chapters and get an understanding, you can help these clients turn these situations around where other attempts have failed miserably for them. Now, if you want to understand some of these things a little bit more right now, you can jump over and check out our videos on either 10 signs of poor bile flow or 10 signs of low stomach acid to get more insights into signs your clients may need help with those issues. I can't wait to hear about your results.